What's going on, guys? You got Quasi here for Quasi Animation Studio, where you are now, and Quasi Media Network, the main channel where we put all of the series and shows and basically the end results of a lot of the things that I show you here on the channel. And there's only one thing that may be exclusive to this channel, and that is the Grim Dawn fan series. But the problem is I haven't done it in a while. So I'm thinking about going back to doing it and continue to use the make human characters, not the human generator characters. Okay, so in this right here, what I'm going to do is be showing you how to set up a scene. So I'm going to make a series of buildings, a road, and I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do a lot of adding extra details. So the buildings won't have any shading or anything. I just want to show you how to set up a scene, because most people don't show you them setting up a scene. What they tend to do is here's the scene, here's the animation, kara, abracadabra, instead of saying, hey, let me show you the process I take to make these things. So, excuse me. So what I want to do is show you how to do that. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and name this. I'm just going to name it set. Okay. And since I'm doing this, I'm probably not going to save anything, and hopefully we don't have any crashes, but I haven't had any. And then I'm going to create another section, and I'm going to just name it for characters. Okay. And the reason for that is I'm going to bring in a character. I'm bringing a default, and that default will be the character I made for myself, which is a human generator character. Okay, I'm gonna put two guys in here, but right now I'm just gonna put the one that's supposed to be me in there. All right. Okay, so yeah, it does have a rigify rig. All right, cool. All right, let's get him in a regular pose. All right, there I go, trying to save. Okay, so he's in there and set, and I'm going to be using this character as a reference point, not using him. He's just not in the scene just to be there, because what I want to do is set up a city block, okay, and show you basically, like I said, how to set up the scene. So I'm gonna go ahead and push this up above all of that and go to set, and I'm gonna drop a plane. Yeah, I'm gonna drop a plane. Okay, so I'm gonna go above, and I want this to be roughly about the size of what a road would be. Now I'm gonna eyeball this, so don't like beat me up, okay? But I'm going to make it a four-way intersection, and I feel like the intersection would be not that big. All right, I'm using the grid squares. I'm looking at them. I'm thinking how big this would be compared to a person standing next to it. So I feel like that may be too big. That's about right. Yeah. So four-way intersection, car is able to turn and go. No, it's not big enough. Make it a little bit bigger. About there. That should be fine. All right. Okay, so now let me go ahead and I'll transform. So you're gonna go intersection. Okay, and then from this, I'm going to branch off 4 sections. So from here to here, there to there. Now, the reason why I'm not going to do this the way you may think I would is I'm going to hit Alt E and do a long normals, okay, and then hit S. Oh, it didn't want to work. Okay, hold on. Let's go to normals. Let me see if I can get it to do it. I just want the edges, and it's going to select the entire sphere. I mean, individual faces. Come on, man. Okay, not going to fight with you. I'm just going to do this like this. All right, so we're going to do this in intervals, because it allows you to do, you look at the intervals here. And not Twing Machine. All right, so I'm gonna just go E scale X. SX, and I'm just gonna stretch it a pretty good distance. I'm probably not gonna try to figure it out. Just keep it going. Oh Lord. All right. Okay, and then select these edges and do likewise. Is E scale Y, because what I want to do is, I'm just gonna find a space, a distance. Let me see if that's off. Okay, that's good. Just find something. All right, because I want buildings on these corners, okay, but also sidewalks within the inner edges. All right, so we have the intersection, so we know cars will be on either side. So I'm going to put a loop cut through the middle, and then I'm going to hit Control B, and then I'm going to hit, matter of fact, before I do that, let's do another loop cut on that side, and then I'm going to select this and dissolve edges. All right, because I don't want the intersection to have these in it. Okay, these will be like our medians, right? So there mean cars on this side and cars on that side. All right, and then I'll go in and do the bevel. Control B, pull it so far, maybe a little bit wider. All right, and then we're gonna hit E, escape, and then Z, not Z. Okay, and grab the Z. All right, there we go. That's cool. All right, so now we have the median. Q, Q, Q. All right, now intersection's done. I'm going to click it and hit all transforms again. This way that the scale is on point, just in case I choose to do a bevel or something like that. All right, so click set. Let's get it off the screen. Come on. Now I want to do a building. So like I said, I'm going to use building tool. So we're going to hit a floor plan. So we know a 4x4x4. A 4x4 isn't big enough. All right. So I'm going to give it, let's say, a 10 by 10. Is that big enough? Nope. Say 20. Now that's big enough. Alrighty then. Okay. You got it. Now with this here, you hit tab and go into edit mode, and then hit floors. Okay, so I already know that most large buildings floors are way taller than 2 meters. All right, so I'm going to give this like a 4 meter height, and then I'm going to give it like, let's see, we'll do the first one with 8 floors. Right, that's pretty good, not too bad. All right, go back into solid mode. Okay. Ooh, let me undo that. I'm gonna undo the entire thing. Let me show you why. All right, come back in, hit floors. It's still there the way I wanted it. I want the outset pushed in. All right, so you have a slab outset. I don't like the edges. Okay, so I'm gonna hit 3. And then I guess because it's, I'm gonna give it a door there. All right, so let me go on left or right. All right, so this door isn't wide enough, clearly. All right, so I know on the X it's the width, so 1.5, and then the height I'll make it 1.3. Okay, that's the Y, X and Y. Okay, all right, and then I know that I want more depth on that door. Again, not particularly doing anything. I am just playing with it, getting used to using it, even though I know how to, but still. All right, this is one building. And then around these edges, I'm gonna do them one at a time. Make the window a little bit taller or wider. Let's make it taller. So I'll go 2, nope, 4, 3.5. All right, cool. And the width, 2. I can deal with that. How many? 5 should be okay. Go to the next one, and then the next one. See how simple. The reason why I'm doing it one at a time, because this thing will crash out. It will crash your stuff. And this is where I'm like on some, let me save this. So let me save this. Come down here. spelled it right. I still didn't do it. All right. Okay, so now the last one I'm going to leave open. Explain why. I don't think I should put something up there. Matter of fact, I will. Because I'm going to grab this top and push it up. All right. No, I'm going to extrude it. There we go. And then on the top, again, we're not going to see this, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And push it down. All right. And there's building 1. So I'm going to rename it and call it building 1. All right. Okay, so since I put the door on the other side, on this, this side, it's on 3. All right. When I hit 1, I'm going to put that door here on this corner. Now, why didn't I put it directly on the corner? Because I want to put a sidewalk over there. So I think I haven't put the sidewalk yet. I haven't. Okay, so let's grab Quasi and let's put him on the edge here because he's already on the 0 space, on the 0 on the Z. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'll put the 3 cursor there, and then in set, let's grab a plane, and then I'm going to make sure that that plane, because I think that's wide enough for a sidewalk. And I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. You're gonna be like, wow, that's different. But yeah. All right, so I'm going to go into edit mode, grab one edge, and I'm going to pull it back. Now, I'm gonna show you why in a second. I'm just gonna take it past that edge. All right, okay. So then I'm gonna take do the same thing here, but the difference is I'm gonna hit this side, okay? I know it seems wide enough, but I want it to be wide enough for a lot of people. So I'm gonna take it back to the building. All right, okay. Now I'm going to give this a solidify, but that means I have to apply the scale. So let's go over to solidify in the modifiers. I'm going to go 0 on the offset, and we're gonna see that it hasn't gained any, like a lot of width. It's a small amount of width. So I'm gonna go to 0.06. Okay. Now, here, I'm going to leave that lip. This is how we're going to fake, I'm saying again, fake a curve. All right. Grab the top, apply, and then apply scale. Grab the top, and I'm going to do an inset. Oh, hold on. Okay. Inset to a certain point. All right. Now this is where it's going to get weird because this edge I don't want, but I'm going to bring this down, okay? And it's going to come down to 0. So I'm going to grab it, G on the Z. Oh, I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I'm sorry. Extrude on the Z. There we go. All right. So now we have our makeshift curve, but now I'm going to go again with the scale, go to bevel, 1 9, 2 9, and now we have a curved edge, and I'm going to do auto smoothing, and then go to smooth. Okay. So we have our sidewalk. Like I said, I don't want this edge, so what I'm going to do is select all of this. Uh-oh. I pressed the wrong button. Let's see if I can delete these edges. Faces. I don't like that. I'll leave it alone for now. Because all I'm going to do is duplicate this. I'm going to actually hit Alt D. And then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees negative. I'm sorry, 90 degrees. And push it over. And I'll bring it back. Okay. So I know that this space right here, I just don't want that lip. I still don't need it here. So the best bet is to probably go into face select. Why did that select that? Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have made that a duplicate. Let's just Shift D and then go 90. All right. Go above so I can make sure it's clean. All right. I'll push it back for now. Go back in, delete those faces, and then come back over here. Come on now. Oh, yeah. Where is it? Where is it? There you go. Oh, okay. And delete those faces. Those faces. Come back into solid mode. I'm sorry, I'm just blum 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 blum. All right. And now our Sidewalk has a little bit more cohesion. I'll pull it all over through. Okay. So I want this building dead on in the corner. So it'll be right on the edge of the sidewalk. All right, there we go. So let me name these Sidewalk. This one also. And of course we know it's going to name it dot 001. Okay. And then to play the game, I'm going to mirror as not to do a lot of extra. All right, on the Y. And then this one, the same thing. It should be on the opposite side. And then here on the X. And I think I can get this one to do the Y. Yep, there we go. And ta-da. All right. Cool. So now we have our Sidewalk. All right. And then I'm going to take building 1 and I'm going to dub it also. Hit it 180 degree. I'm going to push it across the street. Difference is I'm going to push it down the street. All right. So that's 1. Let's put our cursor back to the middle. Okay. And then now what I want to do is build another building. So I'm going to bring me back to the middle, quasi. And then build another floor plan, which is 20 by 20. Edit floors. We're going to do 3 floors. And yep, that's good. On this floor, we're going to go to those windows, but I'm not going to do 5, I'm going to do 3. And then on this floor, the same thing. And then here, I'm going to add a door. Alrighty then. Now, I'm going to add a roof. I think I can do a gable. I don't want a gable roof. I want a flat roof, but I'm going to give it a thickness of 0.1, 0.5. There we go. All right, and then the outset can be 0.2. And then grab the inset, E to extrude, and push down. All right. So I want to say this should be negative. Yeah, it'll be negative 90 on the Z. Go back above, and then we want this on the corner. All right. So let's make sure it's good on the corner. All right. So I don't want it all on top of the sidewalk. All right. Yeah. So again, we're just blocking out what we want the city block to be like. Okay, so again, this is something you use real simply for something, because like, let's say in the distance you have like something like this here, you could kind of replicate it a little bit or add an obstruction towards the end, like maybe a bridge. And of course I'm going to, let me rename this building to building 2 and then drop. I don't know why it does not drop into the set. All right, excuse me. 1.1. All right. Okay. Now, because I did this, most of the time you have buildings that are a little bit different. So I'm going to duplicate this, or I'm going to take it over here, and then I'm going to bring it back to 0 on the Z. And I don't want it dead on top of that one. So we may have like an alleyway over here. So I'll grab this sidewalk, right? I'm going to duplicate it. Of course, Shift D. I'm going to get rid of the mirror, and I'm going to take it back to 0 on the 90 and then push it down. All right. So let's see here. Hit 7, go above. All right. And then I'm going to stretch it out on the X and make sure it fits between both places. All right. So it's be kind of like my alley, right? So come back into solid view, grab the edges, and oh my, that was different. Oh, it's on the normals. All right, go back to global. Okay. So let's say that's the alley. And then I'll hit. No, I'm not going to hit anything. All right, go back to solid view. Okay. So let's just say that's the alleyway, right? I'll push this back some. All right, cool. Yeah, there we go. So you got a little space. Let me push this forward a little bit. All right. Yeah, so let's just say you're walking down the sidewalk. And of course, you can see some buildings more than others. You're just minding your business. And the camera's over here. And it's just like, you know, same thing. Okay. Let's build another building. This one, floors, let's do 4. And matter of fact, undo. Undo. All right, I'm gonna go floor plan, and this time I'm gonna do a composite. Okay. No, not a composite. Do H. All right, so 1 and 2, I'll make a 3. No, that's not long enough. Let me say 10. Okay, too big. 7. Okay, cool. Get rid of 3 and 4, and then add floors. Q. Speak my third time. All right. Add windows. Let's see here. Uh-oh, it's thinking about it. Uh-oh, there we go. Spinning. And there he went. All right. Let's go for it again. Luckily, I saved it, right? Okay. So that one went away. All right. It's not there. 20. When it happens with those, I tend to delete. I'm doing one screen at a time instead of like I did just a second ago. So add floors. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I do it 4 meters. Get rid of the center. 4 count. All right. So when I do windows on these, I tend to just do them right here. Okay. So let's click window. I'll make it 3 with a height of 2.5 and a width of 1.3. All right, and do the same thing over here. Add window, hit save. Don't forget to save. Do the same thing here. All right, and then on the sides, I can just, and this way you don't have to deal with if it's gonna go retarded or not. Of course, usually when you're downtown, there's a lot of stuff on buildings. So on this one, I think I'm gonna put him, yeah, I'll put him all the way around. But on this one, I'm gonna put a door back there. And again, the door just isn't wide enough. So I'll go 2 on the door and 1.5 on the width. All right, same thing here. And I'm going to push the door back more. And then give the frame some depth. Okay. At a roof, it'll be flat. Thickness of 0.5. 0.3. Push it in. And done. All right. So let me rename that one Building 3. Okay. This one needs to be 2.2. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go 90 positive, go above, and push it to the end here. All right. I don't want it on top of the sidewalk, but it definitely needs to be close to the edge. And some buildings bleed deep into the sidewalk sometimes. So let's push this back some. Okay, it's not too bad. All right. So again, as you can see, you can just do a block out, and now all of a sudden you have a city block. And this is stuff I have to do for like the upcoming movie, Kalita Unchained. and a few other projects. Like even now, the fan project that I'm working on for a client, this is what I'm having to do on a constant basis. Is as I world build, it's figuring out how to build a scene that makes sense for what I want to shoot in the scene. Okay, so again, like for instance, think about what you see. Excuse me. All right, let's go to the sidewalk again with Kwasi. All right. Okay. So when I come back here and we look at him compared to the world, let's add some cavity so we can see. All right, so when I slide him backward, look at him in reference to the door. It's not bad because he has to step up. So if I would have put stairs there, then he had a way to step up. But the door, he is 1.8 meters. So the door is 2 meters. So the door is tall enough and wide enough for him to walk through. And that was the whole entire point, is just so you can be at ground level. I'm sorry. You can be at ground level. Let's turn his bones off. Let's hide them. And being at ground level, matter of fact, undo that. All right. Being at ground level, you can look at the world around you and say, okay, ooh, wow, that's tall, and you can see the scale of the world around you from that distance. So I know, like for instance, I want on the ground, because I know that we have the intersection, right? So I want ground behind all of this, because we would have ground underneath, right? So if I go and I just go plane, I come above because I want to see it, and I'll just scale it to make sure it covers my zone. All right, I just won't let it go all the way to the edges. All right, click it again, all transforms, and then let's just say this is ground. All right, okay, so I already know it's going to bleed through a little bit. So what I do is I grab it and then just ever so slightly push it out, and there we go. So let's go back to Kwasi and then turn off the overlay, and then when you look around. Okay, so yeah, of course I could do this. Let's say I go to that building, go to array, and I know it's gonna go forward. I don't want that. We want it on the Y. Would it be positive or negative? All right, cool. Okay, so I come above, and I already know it's gonna be properly on this edge, but this edge is the difference. Okay, so I come over here and make sure it's on the end. There we go. All right. Okay, cool. So if I go 3, the other one's gonna be too far out, so I don't need that. All right. And let's say, okay, I go with this one, do the same thing. Array. Yeah. Okay. And I might go all the way down a little bit more. All right. And I want this one on the other side, but I'm going to duplicate it 180 degrees. I'm going to take it to the middle because I want to see it in the middle, and then I'll just drop it right here without doing anything extra. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that felt pretty nicely. But I'm going to push this building back some. I don't even want it on the road. Okay. So now you have kind of like this offset, right? So again, building a city block, because a lot of buildings do tend to be right next to each other. Right. So building a city block, and yeah, okay. So come over here and do an array the other way. Y. Go in the opposite direction. I'm gonna push this down. Let's see. Yeah, I'll put it right on the edge. And then this one, I'm going to duplicate again. Can I clear this rotation? Oh, it's already rotating. Never mind. 90? Uh-oh. Excuse me. 90? Oh, wow. I keep doing it on 90. All right. Put it on the edge. Okay. Is it on top of the sidewalk? Yes, it is. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So the block is starting to come together a little bit better. All right, and that's the thing that I want to show you guys. Let's check the time. 30 minutes. All right. So again, let's go back to Kawasi. And turn around, turn off the overlay. All right. So again, you can look at the scale here and go, oh, okay, it's nicely scaled or whatnot. He's downtown or something of the sort. And again, this is one of those things where, let's say, you can throw up a traffic light here, you know, put a couple of cars or whatever. This may not be large enough for 2 cars, but we're about to find out. All right, let me append. Think about where I get one from. I know exactly where to get it from. Collection. Where is the Bugatti? There it is. Okay. And let's see here. Push the Bugatti down. Just put it on 0. Matter of fact, let's turn it all the way around. Negative 90, huh? Nope. 180. There we go. I'm using an empty to control it because it's got way more in there. So it's using an empty to control it. All right, yeah, I think I could put 2 cars in there. Yeah, one there and one there. All right, yeah. So it's large enough for 2 cars. So let's say this car is here on the edge of the road. Yeah, it's large enough for 2 cars, but if somebody on the side of the road, somebody's gonna be upset. But again, if I would have used a car for reference, then I would have made a wider road. All right, but yeah, so this is one of those situations where, again, you can see from this angle the scale. So this is what most people are not really showing or demonstrating. So here we go. There it is. And I'm not going to go much further, but I do have some projects coming out for Quasi Media Network, and I would like you guys to check it out. So you want to see anything particular, you want to ask any questions, leave a comment. And don't forget, hit the thumbs up. And I would like you to subscribe, but you don't have to. None but love.